Good morning, beautiful people. It's afternoon now. I am doing a pre-recorded version of this morning's TGIM. We had some tech issues over on Facebook. I did about 21, 22-minute recording that only populated on the post about 7 minutes and 40 seconds. So it is missing so much content. I changed locations real quick to make sure it's not something on my end as well regarding my signal, my Wi-Fi signal. So I'm in a different location right now, in my house, my home studio. So I moved from Studio E and just came into another room to see if we can do another recording of this, and we'll see what happens and we'll go for there. But let's jump right into it. Happy TGIM. I'm your boy EM3. This is your EM3 experience, Rewired Mindset. I like to come out here on Mondays. I'm trying to create a new trend where I typically do a post out here for sure on Mondays. I wanted to start doing live videos on Mondays around midday, try to catch you folks at lunchtime on the East Coast and Central Time. And then folks on the West Coast, you can get it when you get to your lunch in about an hour or two after the recording posts. But we had some tech issues. And so I apologize for that. I'm not sure what the issue is. We had some tech issues last week. We'll get this thing figured out so everything can flow nice and smoothly. But for now, this is your TGIM, and I am happy to be here with you. You know what else it is? It is November 10th. 2025. It is the Marine Corps' birthday. All right. So Semper Fi to all of my Marines, brothers and sisters that are out there. Thank you so much for all of you that have donned the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor, those who have come before us, who have moved on beyond us, and those who are still serving yet today. Thank you so much for your service. There won't be a recording tomorrow. So today I will say Happy Veterans Day to all of our veterans across all branches of service. Veterans Day is tomorrow. Thank you so much for all of your service and your sacrifice for you and your families. But today is officially the Marine Corps birthday. So all things Marines officially, right? So thank you so much for being here with us. Hey, listen, I'm going to say it right now. Hit the subscribe button on my Facebook page. It's only 99 cents a month. I go deeper, I do more content, and I do a lot of exclusives throughout the week, whether it's exclusive posts or exclusive videos, exclusive challenges, exclusive devotions just for the subscribers that are a part of the influence circle. Okay. So these are people who are a little bit more closer knit. You have that opportunity to be one of those ones. You want to get deeper information, right? I'm going to give you some nuggets here today, but throughout this entire week in the subscriber portion, we're going to go a lot deeper each and every day into this topic. Okay. And we're going to be doing that every single week. So make sure you subscribe. 99 cents a month so you can get all of that information and not just the one hit wonder a week. Okay. All right. Listen, let's get into it, folks, because I got a lot to cover and a lot of information to get into. I'm going to leave that live video up, even though it's only a 7-minute clip and it's skipping a whole bunch of sections. My hope is that this will record for a longer period of time here on Zoom. This is actually my fourth take and trying to record this even on Zoom, and then I'll upload it onto my YouTube channel and also onto Facebook so that you can still see the full content, right? So I don't remember everything that I said because some of this stuff, it's got topics on my notes, and then I just go for it. So I'm gonna try to remember everything that I had based on what I've got in my notes. But whatever happens in this one, I'm gonna keep that video up there because there's still content in there in that video that I may not cover on this video, but this video is going to stand alone and be its own thing, right? But we're still going to keep that same flow, same subtopics and all those kind of things. But what comes out of my mouth, we'll just let God have his way, right? All right, so let's jump right into it. Like I said, this is the EM3 experience rewired mindset. Okay. So every week I come out with a different theme. And that theme, then each day I kind of drill down into that theme. I may do just like a precursor post for those of you that are new to following me. And then I put deeper content into the subscription piece for exclusives. All right. So 99 cents a month and you can get that additional information. But for today, this whole week, what we're going to be talking about are the laws of internal mastery. Laws of internal mastery. And the reason why we're talking about this, today we're going to be focused up under the umbrella of that. Today we're going to be focused on the law of thought, right? We're going to talk about commanding the mind. So we're going to drill down into this today and really get a little bit more deeper into a little bit deeper, not more deeper into what we're talking about. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about the mind, right? The mind is your control center. This is the command center where it all gets down. Okay. And in this control center, it is literally the generation or the generator of every single thing that happens in our lives. So I want you to think of the engine. Think of the engine of a car or some piece of equipment, right? That generator is what is powering everything that is happening. This is with the cogwheels of all systems running through our bodies, right? It starts right here in this command center. So think about this. Every single emotion that we have, every single thought that we think, every behavior, every value, every belief, it is here. And do you know how we receive information in here that shapes and forms all of those things in the command center? Is through our five senses. Through our five senses. The other thing is that the mind is spiritual, and we'll get into that a little bit later as well. And so, for those of you that do believe in the sixth sense, that is also housed within our minds as well. Those of you for the physical five senses, we're talking about those physical five senses. Those are the conduits that pipeline information into our brain. So in here, this is the generator. This is the engine. This is where everything is rolling. Everything is working out for us. If you don't command your thoughts, this is important. If you don't command your thoughts, guess what's going to happen? Your thoughts are going to command you, hands down, hands down. You can't get around it. There's no way to try to shape it some other way. If you don't get control of your thoughts will get control of you. So today we're not just thinking, we're directing our thinking. How do we navigate in the troubled waters? How do we navigate on the peaceful days? How do we handle defeat? How do we handle victory and success? Those thoughts is what we need to talk about. So in the discussion today, we're going to talk about, let's talk about two things first. Number one, thoughts as energy, and then thoughts needing alignment. Okay. So when we think about thoughts as energy, Napoleon Hill, one of my favorite authors, he said this: thoughts are things. Bob Proctor picked that up shortly after him as well. Thoughts are things. So when we think about thoughts, we want to think about energy. Our thoughts carry a frequency. Our thoughts send out vibrations. Our thoughts attract. Guess what? Our brain is also a conduit for our thoughts to create. Okay. So the things that dominate, like you can have 10,000 thoughts going through your mind, right? And I want you to imagine standing at an intersection and you just see cars just going through the intersection. But the dominating thoughts, the dominating vehicle going through that intersection, that is what our experiences are going to be. So the dominating thoughts become our lived daily experiences. They become the physical counterparts of our daily experiences. That's what those thoughts are, the dominating thoughts. It's okay if, this thought happens and you can't do anything about it. It just crosses your mind, right? We're not talking about those. We're talking about the ones that keep crossing your mind and keep crossing your mind and keep crossing your mind and keep crossing your mind. Those thoughts, that's dominating now, right? Every time, if you stand at an intersection, every time you look around, here comes a BMW, here comes a BMW, here comes a BMW. What is the primary vehicle then that you see? You see all these other vehicles, but the primary vehicle you see, if it's a BMW going through the intersection, then the dominating vehicle is a BMW. It's the same thing with our thoughts. What thoughts are going through the intersections of your mind? What are the dominating thoughts that's going through the intersections of your mind? They will become the physical counterparts of our daily experiences. So I want you to think about this. If we have an imagination, but then we have our reality, do you know your mind can't tell the difference between the two of these things? Your mind cannot tell the difference between what is imagination and what is a reality. The other thing that your mind cannot do, we want to cancel things out, right? We have this, they say that it takes 17, and I read this in a book several years ago. I can't remember what it was. I was looking through, for those of you that have read the book called Psycho Cybernetics. I thought it was in that book, but it wasn't. But there's a book out there that talks about that takes 17 positive affirmations to overcome one negative thought. 17 positive affirmations to overcome one negative thought. So I want you to think about this. If it takes that, what are we saying to ourselves to overcome the negative thoughts that we do have, the negative thoughts that we do experience? Okay. If it takes 17 positive reinforcements to overcome that, oh man, that's some serious positive thinking that we got to have in place, because we can have negative thoughts going through our mind all the time. Okay. So the mind can't tell the difference between do not or don't, can't, cannot, and can, and do, and will versus won't. The mind can't tell the difference between those. So when you say a sentence, I don't want to run off the road. I don't want to run off the road. I don't want to run off the road. Your mind doesn't understand the don't. Okay. It just understands run off the road. I run off the road. So instead of, and what happens is you start drawing closer to that guardrail. But what happens when you say, instead of saying, I don't want to run off the road, you're speaking in sequence, run off the road. Your mind can't tell the difference what don't means. So it still paints a picture of you running off the road. And that's what you gravitate towards. But instead, the positive affirmation of that, I want to stay on the road. I want to stay on the road. I want to stay on the road. It's not about not wanting to run off the road. It's about wanting to stay on the road. So that's the difference between trying to cancel out what you don't want to happen versus actually speaking into existence what you want to have happen and speaking in the affirmative. So that's the direction that we're trying to go with our minds, is speaking in the affirmative. Okay. Now, so if your mind can't tell the difference between imagination and reality, don't and do, can and can't, if it can't tell the difference between those, instead of saying I'm overwhelmed, where your makes which forces your body to release out stress signals to the body, because you're saying I'm overwhelmed. But instead of saying that, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the responsibilities I do have. That releases peace. Just being grateful, being thankful. So that's how you flip it into the affirmative. So I just gave you two examples of how to be able to do that and speak things into existence that you would prefer to have happen versus what you don't want to have happen. Okay. So the law of thought says this: whatever you consistently think about, you become magnetized to it and it becomes magnetized to you. Whatever you think about consistently, you become magnetized to it and it becomes magnetized to you. So what happens? This means that not only are things drawn into your ecosystem and into your atmosphere and into your environment, but you're also pulled. Okay. So when you dominate things on a consistent basis in your mind, in your thinking, and in your self talk, not only are you bringing things to say, hey, 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 what's going on over there? I just heard some thoughts being spoken. Not only is that happening, but also you get hooked and it yanks you, it pulls on you towards that direction. So that's why it's very important that we recognize the power of our words, the power of our thoughts. Okay. We got to manage that very important task. We have to manage that on an everyday basis, all day long. Okay. Now, so today, what I want you to realize is that mental discipline is spiritual obedience. Now, I mentioned to you earlier, and I said, the mind is also spiritual. So if the mind is spiritual, and you have to be obedient to that. You have to have a spiritual obedience to it. So recognizing that your mind, right? We're trying to rewire your thinking here. So if your mind is disciplined to think a certain way, if your mind is consistently thinking a certain way, you are operating in spiritual obedience of your mind. But when you counter against that, now you start to enter into a disobedience. You're going against what your mind truly wants to receive because you're rewiring your thinking through your thoughts and your self talk. Okay, so that's why it's very important. When I say rewired mindset, this is what I'm talking about. It's about things that we're speaking and what our self talk is, what we're saying to ourselves before we actually take action, before we actually behave. Okay, so you have to take command of your thoughts. When you have command of your thoughts become your ally. Your mind becomes your ally. You don't want to speak against yourself. Why? Because now all of a sudden, when you're speaking against those things and speaking against your mind and what your vision is, you become an adversary rather than an ally. Your mind does. Okay. So you don't want your mind to become this adversary against you. You want your mind to become an ally to you, a tool, a resource. And that is because you've taken command of your thoughts on a day to day basis to force it to become your ally. Now, you can't sit up and pray for peace and act in chaos. You can't do that. You can't think and act in chaos. Meanwhile, over here, you're saying, oh, bring peace. Well, how's peace going to come if you're over here thinking and acting chaotically? The two can't coexist like that. Okay. The other thing you can't do is you can't speak of in the affirmation of abundance, but then over here you're thinking in scarcity, right? Those two do not coexist. They counter one another. So it's very important that you recognize that you take command of the way that you're thinking so that you can get all of that under control. Okay. So here's the challenge I have for you this week. The challenge that I have for you this week is about reframing your limiting beliefs. We're going to focus on reframing these limiting beliefs. How are we going to do that? We're going to catch it in real time. How many of you woke up today and said, oh, I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like getting up, right? Some of you last night, oh, goodness, I don't feel like going into work. Be thankful and be grateful that you have a job to go to because there's some folks out there that don't, right? Be thankful and grateful of the business that you have to operate and to function because there's some people that don't. That's what I'm talking about, catching it in real time. Instead of saying, oh, I don't want to do this. Whew, okay, let's get after it. Okay. That's the difference. You're going from I don't want to do to now I want to get after it. And you're going to speak getting after it all over yourself. All right. When you have a voice that says, you hear that voice in your head or in your heart and mind, and it says, I can't. Replace that with I can. Replace that with I'm learning. Replace it with I will. I must. I have to. I'm going to. I'm fixing to. Right. When you feel like, oh, man, I'm behind. I'm right on time. I'm prepared. You walk in that confidence, right? You went to school and got that degree. Some of you. Some of you went to that trade school and you learned that craft. Some of you studied and got those certifications. Some of you got all this lived experience. You've been this way before. You know what it is that you're doing. So why aren't you it just exuding and just overflowing in confidence? You don't have to have imposter syndrome. You don't have to have somebody to allow themselves in a performance review or in some type of a job interview or whatever the case, whatever it is you're going for. Somebody does a grading of one of your papers for school or something along those lines and say, oh, you just didn't quite cut it. You know the work that you did. You know the effort that you put in. You know the sweat equity that you invested. You know the amount of money you put into this. You know the times you stayed up late studying and preparing and getting yourself ready. So why are you not confident? If you've been through things before and you've made it through them, then the thing that you're facing right now, what is it? It's not in control of you. Your confidence needs to be in control of you. It's not about what other people say, because what other people say about you is none of your business. It's about what you say to yourself. It's about your own self mastery. Do you know you? Don't let other people that absolutely do not know you tell you who you are when you know who you are. So we're not going to do that, right? I'm exactly where I need to be. I am prepared. I'm not behind. It's not that I'm not enough. I am enough. I'm not conceited. I'm confident. I'm not going to doubt myself. I'm going to have belief and confidence in myself. Mike Tyson said, what? Everybody's got a plan until you get hit in the mouth, right? But somebody else also said, when you get hit in the mouth, you fall back on your training. So all the things, when it's time to get down, you fall back on all the things that you've practiced, that you've experienced, that you've been this way before. So there's no need in doubting yourself. There's no need in talking down on yourself. You need to be your number one fan, your number one cheerleader, and you need to rewire your thinking about yourself. You've got to have authority over your thoughts. You've got to exercise those thoughts and practice those thoughts and practice that self-talk. Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich book has a self-confidence formula in there, and I encourage you to print it out. You can find it online, print it out, because that self-confidence formula, put it on your wall, read it every single day, because you have to rebuild your confidence. Read it until your confidence is restructured and rewired in your mind. So here's your affirmation about rewiring your thoughts and aligning them with your purpose. Because when your thoughts are not aligned with your purpose, before you take action, you need to have alignment. You can't jump out here and start taking action and your thoughts are not aligned with your purpose and your vision. You'll end up in the wrong place. Okay? Don't do that to yourself. Don't end up in the wrong place because you're not aligned upstairs. So say this with me. I think truth. I feel peace. I act in faith. Say it again. Say it again. I think truth. I feel peace. And I act in faith. I think truth. I feel peace. I act in faith. Write it in the comments. Write it down and make it plain. I think truth. I feel peace. I act in faith. Write it in the comments. I dare you. Need to feel that alignment. Keep saying it until you feel the alignment happen. Then you take action. Then you start to plant the seeds in fertile soil so that they can blossom later. You're going to water all of these seeds with your faith, right? You're going to watch them grow based on the habits that you pour out over time. And here's the thing. I say it at the end of everything, right? The work is human because it's the planting, it's the sowing, it's the watering. It's that. You have to do that. You have to nurture and cultivate the soil and the ground in your mind. That's the work. And that work is human because it's on you. But the growth, we talked about growth all last week. The growth is divine because it's God that gives the increase. The work is up to you. So the work is human. The growth is up to God. And that's why it's divine. So, and we're going to close things out, okay? Because I really appreciate you being here. But I'm just going to say this. If any of this resonated with you, subscribe to my channel on YouTube, the EM3 Experience, Rewired Mindset. If any of this resonated with you, please hit the subscription button right here on my Facebook page. It's 99 cents a month on Facebook. Go deeper with us. Get the devotions each day. The devotions for today are posted already, exclusively for subscribers. So get that devotion, take those challenges, and and build yourself out one day at a time. Okay. I don't know what it is you're going through. I don't. I don't know what it is you've been through. I haven't walked in your shoes. I'm too busy trying to walk in the steps I've been ordered in. But what I can tell you is that the information that is there and that is readily available for you, I know for a fact it'll help you. It's helped me. It still helps me. Even doing this today and the stuff, I mean, I put the notes together and it helps me. And it's my hope that it's helping you. That's what the EM3 experience is all about. I'm living out loud myself in front of you with the hope that one sentence, one sentence gets planted in your life to help you have a better day. And I hope I've been able to do that for you today. So subscribe on my Facebook page. Subscribe to EM3 Experience, Rewired Mindset on YouTube. All right. 99 cents to get into the influence circle. I cannot reach everybody. So let each one reach one. I can't reach 8 billion people. I can reach the people that are right here around my world and part of my ecosystem, right? And I'm grateful for you. But now you have a call to action to go out and reach everybody else. All right. That's your responsibility. So each one reach one. Go reach out to everybody else and invite them. Invite them to the EM3 experience. Invite them to the channel. Invite them to subscribe. And you subscribe as well. Invite them to, if you like this video, like it, love it, share it. Tell somebody else, hey, you need to check out this EM3 experience. It's all word of mouth, right? And I hope I'm making a difference. At the end of the day, if I'm not making a difference, then I'm doing something wrong. So I hope that I'm making a difference in your life because I know I feel confident that I'm making a difference in mine, right? Just by doing this and living out loud and making myself as vulnerable as I possibly can. So I want you to keep this in mind. Your next level, it doesn't start with luck. It doesn't. Luck is not for the prepared. Luck is not for the people who are training and exercising their minds and working on themselves. That's not luck. That's preparation. You've been grinding this out from the inside. So it's not about luck. It starts with your thinking. Leave luck up to people that not prepared. You're not one of them. And don't worry about what science and the mathematicians say, because the greatness that is in you is not scientifically explained. You'll be able to do the impossible. Okay. You'll be able to do the extraordinary, the magnificent. I know you can. Folks, that is your EM3 experience. That is your TGIM. This has been your Rewired Mindset. I'm your boy EM3. Happy birthday to the Marines, 250 years. I thank you for being here. I thank you for watching. If you like this video, subscribe. If you like this video, share it. All right. God bless you real soon. Have a phenomenal week, and we'll see you inside the Influence Circle soon. Thank you for being here.